All right, guys, welcome to another Monday motivational Zoom. I almost said Sunday because I used to do Sundays till that was Stacy's regular team Zoom. So I changed it to Monday motivational. Again, Jackie, thank you so much for taking the lead last weekend. I really, truly appreciate that. And it is not often that, one of us isn't able to be on. And, you know, one of the most important things I can tell you guys as you grow your teams and as you grow your organizations is always to encourage layered leadership. Always know, like, have somebody there that if you have to step back, that is going to help you step in and really kind of take charge because a lot of your newbies coming in, they are not going to know what to do and they need direction and sometimes that constant reassurance and guidance, right? So we always want to make sure that we are teaching layered leadership. That goes for if you and your team do weekly live calls, you guys get together and you do events every week or something like that. Having other leaders step in to do those calls or to do those things isn't a lack of your leadership, but rather encouraging them to step up and to step into place. And that also gives their teams a chance to see them stepping up. So then guess what? Then their teams eventually want to step up too, right? So by teaching that, you literally are building a much stronger organization. So as we get this week started, like I said, I fell asleep on the massage chair and oh goodness. I'm glad Tim didn't take a picture because I'm sure I was probably drooling from being so exhausted for this past weekend. But we literally are on the last 2 days of the month. We have today and tomorrow. Tonight's the last night for the buy two, get one. Unless for some reason it would be extended. I mean, they gave us 2 days already, so I don't expect that to be an extension. But it's the end of the month, right? So right now, one of the things that you can do is you can dig down through your organization. You can look at the legs that you see volumes, like if you have multiple promoters, and you can see the legs where you see volume coming in from, right? So if you have some non-active promoters, but you see people that have been ordering, reach out to them, let them know because sometimes they don't get those corporate emails, right? Especially customers. If you have promoters that are not qualified and active and you're trying to rally up some extra volume because you're super close to re-ranking or someone else is super close to re-ranking, make sure those promoters that have volume under them are qualified and active. Reach out to them and just let them know, hey, it says you have 60 BV. I just don't want you to get paid. I promise you guys, they'll be thankful that you told them. And that also give them a chance to reach out to some of their customers. And if they're not thriving free next month, that maybe they will be, right? So those are a couple of the things that I know in your organization, sometimes you don't always think to do is sometimes if you're not close to a rank also is going through your team and challenging them, you guys, you always want to be pushing yourselves a little bit more. So maybe you've already hit the rank that you're at, that you want to be at this month, but there's somebody on your team that's still pushing, rally with them. Okay. I have somebody, you guys, that reached out to me yesterday. She is a 12K, but her volume had been slipping and she was sitting at 10,000 in volume yesterday. You guys, she is like 600 away right now from re-ranking at 12K. And that's an auto bonus that she most certainly doesn't want to miss. And literally, it just took her reaching out to some of her promoters that have volume under them, reaching out to some of her customers that she knew loved taking advantage of this product, BOGO. And guess what? Ta-da! The volume went up literally like $1,400 like that. So, and she has a bunch of people getting ready to place orders. It wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow she ends up at 13,000 or plus, just because of all the people that she shot messages to. So never, ever, ever, ever underestimate how much can happen in a matter of 2 days. Okay. I promise you, I have seen people hit crazy ranks in those days. And it really does. It takes being intentional, and it takes just saying, okay, where is this coming from? Who else on my team needs help? They need to know sometimes, you guys, that you have their back as well. So you want to, now look, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes people are way far off and they are just simply not pushing. And there's not a whole lot you can do with them, but you still can look down within their organization. If they have people on their team that are pushing, then shoot them a message and say, hey, I see you. Is there anything I can help you with? Is there anything that, you need ideas to help you get closer to that 4K rank? Because I see you're very, you're very, very close to it. So, and maybe they're not far, but you see them trying, you see them working, just shoot them a message, see if they need any help, especially if their uplines have been kind of missing in action, or nowhere around, right? Some of you guys are going to notice also that as like the world opens up, and we kind of talked about this briefly before, but as the world opens back up, people are not going to be behind their computers as much. They're not going to be head in the phones as much. They're going to be at more social gatherings. This is a great time for you guys to be intentional. Like if you see, even if you don't set up at like craft shows or vendor events or whatever, we have a place down the road that has like lots of times they'll have like different types of events where they have different vendors set up, and they don't necessarily take the vendings that we have, right? But it's still a great time to get in there and network. It's a great time to get in there, talk to people, give them one of your business cards. If you do not have business cards or a QR code, get one, because now's the time when you're sitting there talking to somebody that you want to exchange information. And maybe that information won't pay off immediately, but eventually you're like sitting around, you pull them up, you look them up on Facebook, you add them as a friend, or you add them on Instagram, and you start building a relationship with each other. You guys, chances are most of the time when you meet somebody, they are not going to just buy your product, right? You have to realize that it's going to take building that relationship. They're going to need to see your consistency. They're going to need to see what it is that you're doing and what's in it for them. At the end of the day, nobody cares unless they know what's in it for them. All right. So focus on building those relationships. And now's a great, great, great time to do that. Jackie, I see that you are on. I know that there are some things that maybe you wanted to throw in and add on to that. And I have some notes, but
I'm so excited. Hi guys. Welcome to Monday Night Motivational. Before we get too carried away, we're going to talk about some of the summer stuff and maybe some of the stuff that you guys might be feeling, because I know I'm feeling all the same things, but it's just what you do with your time, right? So before I get carried away and going into talking about summer and how it feels and what to do with your feelings, let's talk about the promo. Okay, so buy two get one. There is no minimum, right? So if you guys have not taken advantage of it yet, or if there's still people that you can reach out to, think of who definitely wants to detox right now. Okay, so whoever has been on your detox list that says like, yeah, I want to get my detox, maybe they don't have product yet, have them get it right now. And I'm going to tell you guys a little tip. If they buy two, they're going to get the third one for free. And detox is much funner to do when you have an accountability partner. So that's something that you definitely want to push them to do, because I don't know anyone who likes to do detox by themselves, right? Even people that start it, they make their husbands do it with them, because they're like, you know what, if I have to eat like this, you have to eat like this too, right? And they're willing to do it because guess what, wifey's preparing all the meals and they're just like, okay, whatever. So definitely, if you have anyone on your detox list, now is the time to get it. Yeah, so there's that. And then what else is there? DFTs too. I have a lot of people like, I placed my own order, and then I had some other people saying like, oh my God, I want to get some DFTs too. So yeah, the special DFTs are definitely things that, you guys can stock up on right now. Packages were not included though. So that is something to keep in mind, right? The half packages were not included. The promoter packages were not included. The sample packs were not included. So this is kind of a time that, and also collagen is not included either. The new collagens, right? The collagen gummies and the Pink Pro. And you know what that tells me? If Lavelle is excluding those, that means that those things are probably flying off the shelves. And I think so because I've been having collagen for breakfast. I've been having collagen before bed. And people are obsessed. Like that's probably one of the top selling plus line products right now. And because they excluded it, I know that it's flying. But okay, so besides that, if you guys have any questions about the promo, definitely drop it into the comments. If you guys spend over, was it 350, you get free shipping, right? You don't have to spend that much. So even if somebody just wanted to buy 2 detox, get the next one for free, they don't have to push for all that. But I can tell you that whenever these big weekends come and they have those limits of, if you spend X amount, the volume goes up like crazy. But you guys, if you guys are not seeing a big increase in volume, it's still okay. It is month end. We are still going to see a little rush of things. But think about it. We had a huge, gigantic, massive BOGO in the beginning of the month, right? That BOGO was crazy. Like it was insane. We didn't have one since I want to say the January before. So that one was a huge one that came through. I want you guys to think about it because we had that BOGO that happened, right? It is month end right now. Go reach out to anyone who participated in that BOGO because if they tag somebody, they have one referral, right? They need one more referral to get Thriving for free if that was how they did it, right? So go in there, reach out to them. And, if they have a second referral that buys anything at all, they're going to get those credits, which is going to be more volume for you in the following months and stuff. So just a couple tips for you guys. Definitely think about it. Whoever on your team participated in BOGO, especially customers, try to get them Thriving for free. Those are really, really easy targets. They'll go for it, right? And if their referral right now takes advantage of the buy two, get one, even better, right? It's just like sales all around. And then it'll also increase the average, right? The average of credits. Because if their second referral buys right now, the volume is probably going to be higher than if they were to just buy one item just to help them thriving for free. So yeah, so besides that, I mean, if you guys do feel like it is a little bit slow right now, honestly, slow is a mindset. Anyone that's brand new does not know that it's slow, right? They don't know that it's slow. They're probably signing up people left and right. I mean, I had a girl who, we were celebrating her because she's literally on fire. She said to me, I just ordered an 800 pack because 24 people need samples, right? And I'm like, this is what happens when you sign brand new people, you guys. When a brand new person enters your organization, nobody around them knows about Thrive, right? And if they are sharing properly, right? If they're sharing loud and proud, if they're sharing what it's doing for them, if they're telling everybody how great they feel, right? It's not about what's the ingredients and like all those kinds of things. It's literally just, oh my God, I'm so excited. I feel so good. Look at my transformation. Look at hubby's doing this with me. They're sharing those things, right? And that excitement is like, hey, I want to try this too. So anyways, we had somebody on our team. This is what happens when you sign brand new people and they're excited. She's like, I have 24 people that are waiting for samples. I'm waiting for my package. That's the excitement, you guys. And if you guys have anyone in your team that is experiencing that, definitely cheer them on, root them on, because that's the kind of excitement that you want, right? But that's the newest person. Now, if you guys have been around for a little while and you're like, oh my God, like I don't have anybody new that's coming in, some of these things, right? It's if you don't have anyone that's coming in, it just literally means you have to get grounded, right? And just start to talk to people, right? Start to like build relationships and try to even just sign one brand new person and nurture that one person. And it'll eventually turn into a happy thriver, right? Somebody who you'll eventually be able to ask for referrals. Maybe they'll want to promote one day and just keep on doing that. Just focus on changing one person's life. And that will create momentum for you, right? But I personally, like one of the busiest people, when it's slow, like as far as like there's not a ton of people who are signing up, or it's just like kind of like maintenance, just people reordering, but nothing like super crazy, you guys. I am enjoying this time so much. Basically what I'm doing in the background is getting organized, right? Getting super organized, creating creating things, right? I'm creating content. I'm really excited, just kind of cleaning things up. And you
Uh,
guys, if it's super busy, you guys don't have time for this, right? Everybody's literally up your butt, like wanting this and that from you, like customers, promoters, all kinds of things. So when things are quiet, you guys take that time to really do the things that you maybe you wouldn't be able to do if it was like, crazy peak season, right? Even though it's still busy, you guys. I also, another thing that I wanted to bring up is that we're coming up to the end of May, right? We're coming up to the end of May right now. A lot of you guys made vision boards in January. I don't know about you guys, but I am going, basically what I'm going to do when I get off this call is I'm going to print out little check marks, these little green check marks, and I cut them out all pretty. And then I go and smack them on my vision board to like know that, hey, I did some of these things. Great. And that way I can visually see like more clear what it is more that I want to achieve for the rest of the year. Right. And honestly, once you get towards the end of the year, like right now it's just kind of an accountability check. Like, where are you guys at? Are the dreams that you put on your board, are you working towards them, right? Like you have to revisit it. Like you see it all the time, but you actually have to look at it and say, okay, like am I working towards my goals and dreams, right? I can say that I am, right? I want you guys to really think about it. Like, are you? And go to it and start putting little check marks on it. That way you can kind of see it. And it'll push you, right? It'll push you a little bit harder, right? So it'll take you through the summer months, hopefully, for you to remember what your goals and dreams are. Like, what is it that you want to achieve by the end of the year? And at the end of the year, what will it look like, right? I know that all my vision boards at the end of the year, there's still a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't get done, right? But those are things that, I can reevaluate. Maybe I want it again, maybe I don't, right? But it's definitely nice to see. So yeah,
I'm
that's
I'm glad that you said that because I think it's super important for people to realize the business that you're getting now. I would look back 3 months ago and say, what were you doing? Okay. Because truthfully, you guys, what you do now at the end of summer is when you're really going to start to see a lot of that kind of like in your paychecks. Okay. So, like, what were you doing 3 months ago? If you're just re jumping back in and like you really haven't been real plugged in, and maybe your team, like a lot of people had like quit or disconnected. Let me just tell you what, one of, and you guys hear me talk about this so many times. One of my first books that I read in this, during my very first year in network marketing, which that's the name of the book. And again, it's downloaded PDF file in the Dream Team page, under the files. But it literally prepped me for the fact that there were going to be seasons in your business. There's going to be planning seasons. There's going to be seasons where you are booming and you don't have time to come up for air. Most people that join you are going to quit. Okay. Just think about how many people try out for the NBA every year, how many people want to go to, be in the Olympics, how many people want to become, whatever. Right. And not everybody makes it through. Why? Because they realize that it's work. And this industry, especially if you put this out there like it's not work, I'm going to be honest with you, that's what you're going to get. People that don't want to work. All right. So you want to make sure that you are letting people know that they can come on this journey with you, that there are ways to make an income, that there are ways to pay for your groceries, your gas, your bills, save up for vacation, to prepare them now for school summer, like buying summer clothes or school clothes for their kids, starting to prepare for Christmas. I know I hate saying Christmas in the end of May, but seriously, these are things that people don't think about, right? But whenever you think about, there are a lot of people really struggling right now in our economy, because of gas prices, because of lack of jobs that are actually paying living wages, you guys. So this can be a great offset to helping them do something from their phone when they're going to and from work. Maybe their hours got cut at their job. Talk about those things, right? But you have to ask the questions. Like today, I have a new promoter, and she has been asking me certain stuff about her posts and so forth, right? And she screenshots it. And she's like, "How does this sound?" Well, her post was okay, except for she didn't let people, like, she was kind of insinuating that she has samples, like she was talking about how much better she feels and everything, but she didn't state in there that she had samples available. And then she didn't state if you would be interested, or if you want to get your hands on one, shoot me a message or drop me a comment, right? And just a little tip, if you say that you have X amount of samples that you have to get out today, you can also include later on updating that post or commenting in that post. Okay, one sample gone. Okay, I'm down to 2 samples. Who else wants them? Because creating an urgency also shows people that people want it. Okay. But if you're not asking people if they want samples, if you're not asking people if they want to come on this journey with you, if you aren't asking people if they want to be accountable with you, and then just also when you make your post about your product, asking a question unrelated to Thrive. Okay. Asking a question, and it can somewhat be related, but asking people for tips or advice or giving their opinion about it, giving some kind of short story will increase your interaction. And that interaction is going to boost your exposure in front of their friends and friends that are mutual friends of your guys's. Okay. So make sure you're asking those questions if people want to join you on this, but they need to know what it is that they're joining you on. Okay. They need to know more about, like, one of my number one pet peeves. And if you've done this, I'm really sorry. Please do not take a personal attack on this. But if you post a Flex Friday post and all you do is Flex Friday, hashtag Flex Friday, who cares? You've got a sticker and you're like literally pointing at a sticker. Like, what the heck? It's what people see. Okay. People need to know, why are you wearing this sticker? Like, is that a nicotine patch? Like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? Okay. Seriously, people need to know what that's all about. And if you are new, okay, it is really good to invite other people, tag some people if you want, or add some people, tell people on Instagram. People can't like really post pictures on Facebook. Sure, they can, but you want to let people know why you're wearing those stickers. What have they done to you? What were you doing before you got that? Right. So kind of tell a little story. Maybe start off about how busy your day is. And thank goodness you have this, because you don't know how you're going to make it through otherwise. Right. It helps give you the extra energy and the boost. And plus, you're nicer. I always joke about that. I'm nicer to my kids in the morning once I've taken my Thrive. It's true, sadly, but bringing people on that adventure. Also, I'm just going to give a PSA right now. There are a lot of companies out there scouting. Okay. There are a lot of companies making things look like they are so shiny, bright, and new. And sometimes, you guys, that can seem super duper, like, it can sound super exciting, but I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to go through the same thing with every single company that you go for. Every company that you go with, eventually you are going to hit a wall and you're going to have your team quit working. You're going to have customers fall off. You are going to have the same kind of things happen. All right. And I can tell you, because I've been part of 2 companies, right? Why did I leave that first company? My passion was gone. I had some relationship stuff going on within my actual business. My cousin was my upline, and we had a really big falling out, and so it just made a very you know and I had gone through a major loss of my dad. So anyways, I went back to work full time when my paychecks dropped. I went back to work full time because the responsibility of my business is always on my shoulders, not my team's shoulders, my shoulders. So if I'm not recruiting or my paycheck's not reflecting what I want it to be, I have to take an internal look at how many people have I messaged? How many people have I followed up with? How many people have I met new? Like, am I actually doing the do? Am I getting into my organization and seeing who on my team needs help? Am I guiding them? And listen, you by no means have to be on every single Zoom. I am not on every single Zoom, and I do not apologize for not being on every single Zoom. I will catch the recording, or a replay when they're available. But to be honest, you guys, I've got 6 kids now and a life outside of my business time, right? So I have select business hours. And of course, I answer my phone all the time because I work from home. If I work from home, I have to treat this like an actual job if I want it to provide business income. So that's something else that you've got to consider, is that if you are saying that you're working from home, well, what are your work hours? You need to set those aside. Set aside certain hours that you are being intentional with reaching out to your promoters, your customers, creating content, going through your back office. I just actually was telling Amy Hobson earlier tonight about Flowdesk. And I don't know how many of you guys know about Flowdesk. And there's lots of apps and there's lots of different things. But anyways, it's an email servicer that will help send out reminders to people. And you can set it for 30 days or every 2 weeks or every month. There's a free version. There's also a paid version. By the way, if you do the paid version, then that's a tax, right? Off, right? That's one of your tax things. So I like to use apps and stuff like that. What's the name of the book? Your First Year of Network Marketing. It's literally, if you go to the Dream Team training page, select files, you'll see it right there. So I can tell you guys, there's lots of books that are going to be your aha moments that help you teach and set your mind for the fact that people are going to come in and quit. There's going to be seasons in your business. If you are in a season in your business that it's backslid, or maybe you're just getting started, look, you guys, you have to get in front of like new people and new faces. And your new team or your team need to get in front of new people all the time. How do you make friends? Well, you add them. I don't want you to add random people. Please don't be that person to just like add random people just because. Then chances are you're not going to have anything in common with them. Start with people that you have things in common with. Like, where do you live in your community? Like, who did you go to school with that maybe you lost connection with? Start with places that you've worked, people that maybe you didn't end up getting, becoming friends with. Or looking through some of those mutual friends that also were friends with people, and you're just like brainstorming, right? The people, I'm literally have added everybody at my dentist's office, everybody at my doctor's office, everybody everywhere knows me by first name basis. And when my kids go places, they're like, hey, is your mom Amanda? Like, Layla doesn't even really like look like me until she smiles. But you guys, she gets that question all the time because people have added me, or I have added people, and they have followed along my journey. It's like they actually know us. And it's weird, I know, but sometimes people will eventually come up to you and tell you, like, oh my goodness, like that was so funny. I can't believe you put, and I'm like, I don't know where I know you from, because people's pictures don't look the same sometimes. Okay. So, the reality of it is that I look at somebody's page, if I'm going to friend them, and I look and see, are they going to inspire me? Are they going to educate me? Are we going to get along? Like, is it somebody that's going to be relating to where I am in life? I am in a place in life right now where I want to be surrounded by people that are positive and that are wanting to help other people and grow. I am eliminating purposely people that drag me backwards, people that bring negativity into my life. So those people I've been snoozing on my timeline, people that make me question my own worth, I snooze. And then if they continue to make me question that, I limit that. But I think it's important for you guys to realize that every business goes through the peaks and the valleys, and you don't get to celebrate those wins if you throw in the towel and jump ship. Plus, you lose credibility every single time you jump from one thing to the next. People are like, okay, but you just said this was the best thing, and so forth. And I just want to caution you guys to not jump on the first shiny object that looks brand new and exciting. Of course, it's brand new and exciting because people haven't heard of it. And guess what? Your customers, like Tim said earlier today, And I just want you guys to think about this. I have lived in this area in town and I have been a thriver for 5.5 years. I can walk into any grocery store and probably maybe one or two people would know what Thrive was. I challenge you, go do a scavenger hunt. Just ask people, do you know what Thrive is? They're going into a drawing for something. If they I don't know, you can just make it fun. Just go walk up to them and ask them, have you ever heard of Thrive? No? Great. Here's your business card. You just got entered into a drawing. If you scan it or you send me a text, I'll enter you into a drawing for a sample. All right. Literally make a scavenger hunt. Let me repeat that. Okay. Because I did this years ago with my old company. I met a bunch of girls at the mall and we literally did a scavenger hunt, just printed out the scavenger hunt sheet. If people had brown hair, said, hey, I have to mark you off as a scavenger hunt. If for a thank you, if you text the number on this card, you'll get entered in for a drawing. Okay. For a free 3-day sample of what it is that we have.
You guys are wild. I actually remember when you guys made everyone do that for like a 200K challenge, and was it like destination to 12K or something?
Yeah.
And I had people that were like, they're making me do this, but they went and did it, right? They pushed them out of their zone. And you guys have to get uncomfortable
Oh,
if you
yeah.
guys want to grow,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And
I
I'm
remember.
telling you, and like, I know that it sounds silly, but I don't know if you guys have bulletin boards at your grocery stores or post offices or anything, anywhere that you have bulletin boards in the community. You can make little flyers and like the little tear offs. I know it sounds totally old school, but they can take the tear off and text your number for a chance to win. And then guess what? You could enter their information in, and then now you're getting them signed up for free accounts and so on, right? So people can tear little tabs if they're looking for more energy or they're looking for a way to make an extra income from home. You don't have to put too much information on those flyers, but people will text you and they will ask you the questions, and either they will or they won't. But guess what? They never will if you never try, and they won't know what it is unless you give them a shot. So don't ever, ever, ever underestimate. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of lead boxes. Go and Google it if you haven't. But you can make little lead boxes with like a little shoe box. And if you have little mom and pop stores, you can put it up there. People that enter can go into a free drawing for like a free giveaway of something. Listen, my hairdresser yesterday, you guys, was it yesterday? Yes, yesterday. So I was taking care of Tim's grandma this weekend, or maybe it was the day before. I can't even keep track of days. Today's Monday. It was Saturday. I went to my hairdresser for a couple hours in the afternoon, and I hadn't been there since like the beginning of March. Okay. She's, holy crap. My hair growth, you guys, was like this. Like my regrowth was like this. And she said, your hair is so thick and so healthy. What are you doing? Literally, you guys, I have been collagen gummying it. Like seriously, like crazy. Like every day I am on massive. The Pink Pro, I really haven't been consistent with, but the collagen gummies every single day, like clockwork. I take them. So I would highly encourage you guys to, even when you're at your hairdresser, introduce them to what it is that you're doing, because guess what she wants? She wants in on that, because she was like, if your hair and that is what's happening, like I need that. Because she had to have a partial hysterectomy. So she definitely has been struggling with, hair loss and hair thinning and different stuff because her hormones are off. So that's just some ideas off the top of my head. Yes, sharing your results pictures also. And can I just add, as somebody that has struggled with their weight and struggled and was bigger girl, but you guys, I was teaching on stage at very large size. So please know that any type of before and after picture, whether it is a weight loss, a skin transformation, a picture of your hair growth, any type of change Even if that change is your energy level and the things that you cannot see. Your smile speaks for itself. The light up in your eyes speaks for itself. You going out for walks with your kids when before, like previously, all you did was lay on your couch while your kids were sitting there playing, not having the energy to go outside. That is a before and after picture. Like literally, if you don't have the physical transformation pictures, take a picture of, like, go back in your photos and look and see where you took pictures of like your kids and stuff and you guys being inside on a day that was nice. And then take a picture of you guys at the park and be like, this in itself speaks enough about the difference what Thrive has done for me. I have more energy now. I want to do more now. And I feel better now. And it's not just about selling a product. If you focus on how many people you can help provide for their families, help them to feel better, your business is going to soar. And you have to get new people excited when they get started, you guys, because if not, they're missing out on money. First off, those VIP bonuses, but also when their new business starts, their friends are waiting on them to fail. Their friends are expecting them to fail. And the sooner that you show them that they can succeed, and the number one thing for that is excitement. Excitement about what it is you're doing, excitement about where it is you're going. Your vision board, just like Jackie was just saying, showing that you crossed X, Y, and Z. That is another reason why putting very short, like short-term goals, very obtainable goals on your vision board, things that you are going to be intentionally working on and can achieve, as well as some of those bigger goals, are so important because you want to show people things that you were able to mark off along the way. If you just go and post, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a boat, I want to, have $1 million, I want X, Y, and Z. Like, chances are by the end of this year, if you didn't actually work your business very much, or even if you did, you're not going to achieve those goals, okay? Right away. However, as time goes on, you're going to start building it and you're going to start achieving them. So you want to post those obtainable goals and then talk about them. You don't have to tell people everything going on in your life. I certainly don't, but I share just enough that people get to know me and they feel like, even if they don't know me in real life, they feel like they know me and they feel like they've been on this journey with me this entire time. So always, always, always know that you guys can start somewhere. And again, if your upline's really not really plugged in or not really working, don't ever focus your business based off of what your upline or even your downline are doing. Okay. Focus your business on what it is that you are doing and then who you can help within your team and your organization, your customers, by just looking down and seeing where volume's coming from. Are they coming for customers? Are they coming from promoters? Underneath the promoters that haven't been working, betcha some of those people haven't been like nobody's reached out to them. Okay. So reach out to them, bring them into your group chat and help them, guide them. They might be a rock star, or your next millionaire and you don't even know it. Right. They just needed some guidance. So Jackie, with all of my good.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got her. What were
Okay.
you saying?
We're good. All right. Okay. You got anything to say on that one? I'm looking.
Yeah, I do. I was thinking about that earlier, and it's just like, when times, like when things get slower, right? People get so discouraged, like, oh, like, it's so slow. But think about, and I don't know, this might be a little bit unrelatable, but for you and I, Amanda, and like other leaders who are used to making a certain amount, right? When we see a decline in our income, it's like, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, we see like huge declines in our income, but I promise you, if you are concentrating on the newest person coming into your business, that's not even going to matter because you're so busy and you're so focused on helping other people, right? Helping the newest people. Like it doesn't even matter what the rest of the team or whatever it is that they're doing if you know that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And what I do see a lot of, and this doesn't just mean like big leaders and stuff, this is pretty much anyone who gets down on themselves and is just kind of like, getting ready to like, they're just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what's going on. Like, I feel it feels like it's really slow. The first thing that you do is you get back to your own basics, because if you do, you're not going to feel that it's slow at all. You're going to be like, maybe all the rest of the people are slow, but I'm busy, right? I've got things to do. I've got people to help. And that is the number one thing, you guys. If you guys all focus on who cares what your team is doing, right? Obviously, be there to help them and all those things. But if you're focused on what it is that you're doing, none of that will even matter. Like, is it fast or is it slow? I have no idea. All I know is that I'm doing the same thing today that I am when it's super fast. It's just like it's a little bit quieter. Now people aren't like, up my butt, right? I'm actually able to focus on my own stuff more than not, right? So really, really think about that, you guys. And it doesn't have to be like like a whole bunch of, whatever work looks like to you. Just make sure that you're constantly working your own personal business. And yeah. So
Yeah,
anyways,
I think that's super important too. Is that if this is a business, if this is something that you're trying to rely on income for, I think it is super important for you to sit down and have your notebook of, okay, these are the contacts that I have today that I need to reach out to. These are the people that I need to, because in a business, that is what you were going to be doing. And if you are primarily working on social media, then yes, you need to create a content plan. You need to have content that you're putting out. And in that content, you need to have calls to actions where you are sharing a story, but you are also giving people a chance to, you want them to have some kind of reaction, whether that's them commenting, them asking a question for more or whatever. Just like over here, somebody had asked, do you let them know what it is that, they're going in a drawing for? Well, yeah, I do, but you don't have to. I mean, I would prefer that the person that I text knows. And I normally just show them my sticker, and I say sticker only for the sake of, that's what most people think it is, right? I talk about my 3 steps, blah, 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 can overwhelm them, but I'm talking about your elevator speech. Like, you want to be able to be like, look, this has helped me be able to stay home with my kids. All right. Because that's real for me. If that's not where you're at now, but this is going to help me be able to stay home for my kids. It's my go-go juice. It's what helps me be nice in the morning, whatever you want to say. Okay. This is my wearable nutrition, and it's blowing up, and you can get it for free. I haven't paid for it for 5.5 years. That's my real story. Your story is not the same. Okay. But for real, I haven't paid for it for 5.5 years. So that objection of not having enough money, not having enough time. Well, guess what? I hit the top of this company, guys, in 9 weeks working full time. Why? Because I had to. I had to. So guess what? I had samples going out and talking to every single person, everybody I worked with, everybody I saw on the gas station on my way to and from work. I listened to calls to and from work. I was reaching out. I was doing Zooms. I was doing calls in the bathroom, like legit. Okay. Now listen, not everybody is me. All right. But if it comes between my kids losing their home or me busting my ass and maybe losing an hour of sleep, I'm going to do what I got to do to provide for my children. Okay. So if you are relying on this business for an income and to say that you work from home, then you've got to do work. So you need to get up your game plan, and you need to say, okay, I'm going to get up at this time. And you don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, be superpower woman. Okay. I hate mornings and I am grumpy in the mornings. So I am much better if I talk to you once I get home from taking Leah to school. Chances are, if you're in my team chats, you know that. Okay. I will reply, and I have the IPAs and stuff up after I get back from getting Leah, because then I'm awake. All right. But I've always built my business primarily at night. And that has been what worked for me. When my kids went to bed, that's when I sat down and I pounded it out. But then I also, like I said, I dig down within my organization and find out who it is that's working. When I don't have new people messaging me or asking questions, I ask myself, okay, Amanda, what is it that I'm not doing? I'm not talking to people. I'm not telling them about my story. I'm not introducing them to this. Like, I'm not taking them on my journey. So the moment that I catch myself and I say, oh, no, I haven't, I start, you guys, re getting the interest. I start getting people ask me questions. Just like now, I have multiple new promoters. Some of them have been following me for years. One just joined a couple like this last week. Two others, one of them I met at the Pita Pit. The other one has been following me for a few years. She had tried at some of the like businesses, but never got all in, never believed in it. But she believes in it because of she's watched me all this time. Okay. So she was finally ready to jump. So that's what I'm saying is that you have to be consistent. But guess what? I also was inviting them into my journey. And the girl at the Pita Pit, like she's one of the most amazing people ever. And listen, I'm like became instant friends with her. I said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "No, seriously, add me on Facebook." And then I went back and I visited. I went to take a visit to her, and I said, "Listen, I really think," because she was complaining about her jobs cutting her hours and so forth. And I said, "Hear me out." I said, "Listen, I'm going to sign you up for a free customer account. And you don't have to order anything, okay, right now." I said, "But I want you to think about this." She continued to follow me, and then she asked me about a sample, right? I got a sample in her hands, and she fell in love. And now she's a promoter, and she shares, 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 right? And every day she is surrounding herself with better and better people, people that want to lift her up. And guess what? She might not be hitting all the ranks and all the stuff, but her life day by day is improving, and that to me is a major win. Okay, so some people it's going to take longer for them to build that business and build that network around them. You got to be able to stick with them and teach them and encourage them along that journey. So I can just tell you guys that this business model, Lavelle, isn't going anywhere. Okay. We are still very much a debt free company. We are still very much booming. Yes. Are there some dips in some numbers across the board? Absolutely. Why? Well, just to be real, I would share some very dirty secrets of this industry, not Lavelle, because Lavelle is very legit. But there are companies that prey on top leaders and prey on people and try to draw them in. Okay. So just know, you guys, that that happens every year because something new and exciting, people think, oh boy, my whole network knows. Well, if you think your whole network knows, I do. I challenge you to go to the grocery store tomorrow and just walk up to people and ask them if they've ever heard of Thrive. I bet you won't find very many people that have. Ask them if they've heard of Lavelle. And if they have, say, take a questionnaire. I don't know. If you want to feel like you're giving them something, um, if you have samples laying around, hand them a pack of chill or hand them a pack of capsules to take or something. And if they want to get a free step, I'm just saying, if you have extra product or something laying around, take some samples. If they say yes, great. Here, you win a sample. If they say no, hand them your business card or add them on Facebook or whatever. Get in contact with them, get their information, let them know that you'd love to get a sample out to them if they're interested. And then you can talk about the sample with them once you get that contact going on, right? So, anyways, that's just some tips from me. Being around for a while, you guys, I can tell you, I know that momentum starts with you. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing? And if you're doing the same thing over and over and you're not getting any results, then you've got to change things. And you have to figure out what it is that you're doing. Why isn't it getting you results? Are you not adding people? Are you not adding people that are quality people, that are people that are going to be interested in what it is that you have your hands on? Are you asking the questions? Like, are you inviting people in on that journey? How many samples have you gotten out? Look, that'll give you a real good picture. Okay. Asking yourself how many samples you've gotten out. If you say none, then you haven't been intentional about getting samples out. Because if you just make a post that you have samples available of this product, these 3 steps, people are not going to jump. They don't care. Why would I want to give you my money? They need to know what those 3 steps are. Okay. So put a person in with the picture. Man, I was laying on the couch all the time, and now I'm at the gym or I'm out walking. And I got to tell you guys, I feel incredible. I have some samples available of how simple this 3-step system is. Let me know if you want to give them a try. That's all I got to say. And then you have the conversation behind the scenes. All right. But at least that you'll create interest. And for God's sakes, entertain, educate, and be intentional, and then always ask some kind of question to get interaction going on in your post. Okay. And like I said, it could literally be like, what are your plans for the weekend? Or do you have any tips for helping increase your water intake? Do you have any tips of exercises that you can do from home that work on your core, or work on your arms, that work on your legs, that are short, like fast, time period, or quick lunches to take to work with you? See how many questions I just came up with? Seriously, go to Pinterest, type in content calendar. It'll give you a lot of ideas. Okay. Pinterest content calendar, or content ideas, content strategies, call to actions, all those words. If you don't know what any of those mean, go Google them and then go put it in Pinterest and you'll get a whole list. And then also, one last thing I want to say. There are already a community of people out there. All right. There are already communities of people out there. Join part of those communities. All right. Like Moms Over 40, I hashtag those things all the time. There might be a community of game changers, life changers, positive seekers, moms of twins, moms of triplets, dog moms, nurse moms, West Virginia moms. You see where I'm going at here? There's already a community of people. Now go join some of those communities of people that relate to you. And I promise you're going to start getting people that are like-minded and also need what you have. All right, Jackie, sorry.
No, I think that's just about it. I mean, I think it's, we're here every Monday. We're here consistently, right? And that is the main thing, you guys. Just get consistent with yourselves. Like, you guys are already consistent. You guys are on here, right? But that's the most important thing, is really like navigating through your feelings with whatever's going on in, the volume, the industry, the team, whatever it is. Just more of what I was saying earlier, just the same thing. Is just, if you concentrate on what you are doing, you can control what you're doing. You can't control what somebody else is doing. And honestly, like, if your team is like, oh my God, like, I'm not making as much or whatever, you can't control their paychecks. Their paycheck is definitely something you cannot control, right? That's something you cannot control.
Yep. Yeah, you're not you guys, listen, just like I would never, ever, ever go to Jamie Pecca, who is my sponsor, and blame her for what my paycheck was. All right. Now, let me tell you something. One real quick, for me to get humbled and to ever question, like, and be sad about a paycheck, first off, all I got to do is go and work 2 weeks as a nurse. And I'm going to tell you, trust me, I'm like, okay. And not saying like I love nursing. In fact, I'm thinking about going to nurse practitioner school. All right. Because I want to be, even though, yes, I am a top leader, I want to break that stigma in this industry that you can't go after those kind of things. Okay. Because guess what? I think that people should become anything that their heart desires. And I want to change the way that medical treatment is in hospitals and in doctors' offices, and the way the patient doctor relationship is, right? How can you make those change? By being right dead center in the middle of it. So I have considered doing that. With that said, I would never blame somebody else for where my paycheck is. And just like your downline, if their paychecks are not where they should be, they have to ask themselves, like, okay, like was I growing? Was I riding the coattails of my team? Am I still doing the same actions? Am I still being excited? Am I plugging in? Am I learning? And treat people not as a number, but as a human, and realize that people go through different things in life in different stages. They want different things. Some people are going to come, some people are going to go. I was always taught people are in your reason or in your life for a reason, season, or a lesson. You have to just figure out which is it, like which one is which, right? And the reality of it is that everyone is someone, you guys. Okay, everyone is someone, and just because they're not making you a bazillion dollars, they are still there for a reason, and they might just want to make some gas money. So make sure that you are sharing that love. Now, with that said, if you get somebody messaging you 100 times telling you they want to work their business, they want to change their business, but they're still are not doing anything for their business, there comes a point where you have to have that conversation with them as, girl, listen, when you do this, shoot me a message with what it is that you've accomplished today. And then we'll go from there and we'll create a better game plan. But you can tell somebody the same thing over 100 times and you can't make them drink. Like, it's like leading a horse to water. Can't make them drink it. You can pour all the water in front of them.
And
But
I get some of those too. Like I get some of those messages and I'm like, it's all good. You're gonna do you at the pace that you're gonna do you. And I'm here to help you answer any questions,
yes,
whatever it is. Like they come to you with more, like, oh my God, I'm gonna do this and this and this. And like, I'm not forcing anybody, I'm literally not forcing anybody. I'm here to help you. And that's all I can do, right?
yeah, and that's just the reality, you guys, is that some people are here just for gas money and money to be able to spend, to have a little bit extra in between paychecks. Okay. And then there's some people that they want to quit their jobs, and there has to be really real talks. If that's where they want to go, then guess what? There's going to be some sacrifices and some dedicated time. Like, the higher and more you want to accomplish, the more you need to put into your business. But as long as you always hope, if you always focus on who you can help and how you can help them, I promise your business will grow. Okay.
I got one more thing too. I
Yeah.
mean, if you guys really need fire and you guys have like super yellow uplines or just really nice, like chill. For me, I'm super chill. Like I have personally enrolled that are like, I know that you won't tell me to do this, but I need you to yell at me right now. You know what I mean? They'll ask me, they'll be like, can you please tell me what I'm doing like wrong, or what more do you need? Can I do? Right? Don't be afraid to ask your upline for some of the stuff, because some people are just really chill, like
Yeah.
I'm really chill. I'm like, if you don't make a peep, and if you don't make a peep, if you don't say anything, and I think you're all good, you're happy where you're at, I'm not going to yell at you, right? So if you
Exactly.
if you need to
Yeah.
be yelled at, like, I mean, I'm sure
That's
you're
where my yellow side comes in, you
like
guys. And listen, I can be yellow and I can be red. And that's why some people will be like, I need you to be red, Amanda, tonight. And then most of the time, for the most part, I'm a people pleaser and I'm a yellow. Okay. More than any other color, I'm a yellow because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. All right. But I will have those real talks because I do not want anybody to think that this is not work. Okay. First off, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of sacrifice. Okay. But if you're not doing the work, then I'm going to tell you, if you're not doing the work for what you're saying that you want to accomplish, and if you come at me with the fact of your paycheck and this, and that, and you don't know a darn thing about your downline or your team, that's your first problem. You need to be figuring out what's going on with your downline, what's going on with your team, how have you helped them? Because the paychecks come when you help everybody else grow. All right. And it's all about duplication. So I love you all, Jackie. Thank you again for jumping on tonight. I love that we do this call because I think too, it always pumps me up. And listen, I just woke up from a nap right before this and now I'm like fired up. So
And no one, because no one likes to talk to themselves or by themselves, you guys. So if
yeah,
you ever have an opportunity to hop on and just like, chime in, unmute yourself, do it, because you're going to inspire somebody, right? Even, you're going to inspire your upline. it's definitely needed.
Ah,
Next week I'm here, but I wanted to tell you guys because the week after I will not. I'm going to be on a crazy international flight back to the motherland for myself. One of our newest countries that has opened up for Lavelle. They've never had a local before. And it's just something that has to be done, even though it was like an arm and a leg to get over there. And we don't know what we're doing in the country yet, but we have a really, really amazing team out there, people who have, they've never experienced anything in person, right?
that's
Yeah.
incredible. That's
So
exciting. I
stay
can't.
tuned for that. It's the first, and it'll be like, it's definitely not the last, but it's just, yeah, I saw a window of
Um,
opportunity, and I'm gonna go.
yeah, I'm excited, and you guys, we can't wait to hear about all of that when you get back. But I do want to say what Jackie just said. If we are ever on here, and I know some of you guys post your questions over here, or you'll say something or ask something over here. But listen, if we're ever talking about something and there is a piece of advice that has like just been a game changer for your business, please never hesitate to be like, hey, and sometimes you might post it over here. Hey, I really have something to say. I do it all the time, you guys, and in Zooms that I'm not actually on and like doing this or whatever. And they're like, yes, Amanda, because I know I'm going to talk and that people are so used to it now. But listen, if you ever have something, the moment that you start stepping up as a leader is the moment that the game changes for your team. Okay. So, because if you start doing it, then your team will start doing it too. And they realize that their voice matters. Every single one of you on the Zoom right now, your voice matters. Okay. So please never hesitate, and know that we want to see each one of you guys succeed. So, all right, we're going to close this up. Recording will be up. It may not be up till tomorrow morning, but I love you all, and I hope everybody has a great night. Safe travels. Like, well, I'll see you next week. Never mind. All
Sounds
right.
good.
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.